Hi, this is how you can determine the voltage across a capacitor that's in series with another capacitor if you know both capacitances and you know the input voltage. So we're going to derive an equation that's a lot like the potential divider equation, which you're probably familiar with for resistors in series, except there is an important difference. So the first thing we can say is that because they're in series and the same current is going to flow to both of them for the same amount of time, they store the same amount of charge. So Q1 equals Q2 and Q is equal to CV. So we can write down expressions for Q1 and Q2 based on this equation here. So Q1 is going to equal C1V and V1, and Q2 will equal C2 V2, where V1 is the voltage across capacitor 1, V2 is the voltage across capacitor 2. Okay, now we know that because it's a series combination, V1 and V2 will add up to the input voltage. So V is equal to V1 plus V2. Now we can combine these equations into this by rearranging each one for V1 and V2 and substituting them in there. So V1 is equal to Q1 divided by C1. So Q1 over C1. And V2 is Q2 over C2, so we'll put that in here as well. Because Q1 equals Q2, both of those are Q, and we can write this as Q times 1 over C1 plus 1 over C2. I'll just use this relationship here for for these bits of the expression here. Okay, so now we have that, what we can do is expand this out and we'll get something in terms of C1 and C2. So when we add the reciprocals, we would multiply C1 by C2 here, so we get C2 plus C1 over C1 C2. So that's what we can do next, equals Q times C2 plus C1 over C1 C2. Okay, so that's our final expression for that bit. This is equal to the voltage up here, we've got the voltage, so the overall voltage is equal to the charge stored on the capacitor multiplied by this ratio here. Now let's work on getting rid of Q. So Q is equal to C1 V1, so we could substitute that in there. So V is equal to C1 V1 multiplied by C2 plus C1 over C1 C2. Okay, so this is equal to Q. So this is for finding, if we want to find V1. Okay, then Q equals C1 V1. And you can see in this expression that C1 is going to cancel with one of the C1s down there, or the C1 down there, so we can cancel those out. And then we have an expression that we can rearrange for V1. So V1 is going to be equal to the reciprocal of this multiplied by V. So V times C2 over C1 plus C2. And that's our expression there for V1. So the voltage across capacitor 1 is equal to the input voltage multiplied by a ratio of capacitances. The other capacitor divided by the total capacitance. So the units will cancel out there because that's a ratio of capacitance values. That's good, so the units agree on both sides. And like I said, like I stressed, it's important the voltage across capacitor 1 is equal to the capacitance 2 divided by the total capacitance. And if you do the same thing except substitute in for C2 V2 here, what you're going to get is the C2 cancels out, and so the equation for V2 will be V2 equals V times C1 over the total capacitance. Well, well, the sum of the capacitances. I shouldn't say total capacitance. It's the sum of the capacitances, because capacitors in series, of course, you sum the reciprocals and take the reciprocal. So my apologies for saying total. What I meant was the sum of the capacitances. So that's your two expressions if you want to determine the potential difference across one capacitor in series with another.